Hello. Here at the Met Office, we named the storm on Thursday morning Arwen. This storm is arriving on Friday and lasting into Saturday as well. There are a number of warnings in place, including an amber wind warning for the northeastern quarter of the United Kingdom. More details on the warning in a moment, but first of all, let's take a look at the storm. It doesn't look too much through Thursday afternoon, but it really intensifies as this low pressure drives southwards into the North Sea. The isobars jumping out of it and then really squeezing together there, you'll notice, across the northeast during Friday evening. That's when the strongest winds are likely to be. Through Thursday evening, still relatively calm, certainly across the south. Clear skies here will allow a frost to form, but elsewhere the rain is starting to push in. There'll be a bit of snow on the hills of Scotland and the winds will start to pick up as well. That increasing wind with a lot of cloud and outbreaks of rain will keep the temperatures up for many, but as I said, there will be a frost in the southeast. Certainly in rural areas, temperatures could be well below freezing. So a cold start and any early brightness will soon disappear across the southeast. Quite a grey morning across the south with outbreaks of rain and an ever-increasing wind. But the winds really pick up on Friday afternoon across the north, and the snow showers continue to pack in here as well, increasingly coming down to lower and lower levels. Mostly at sea level it will be rain, but there could be some snow for a time, and certainly we could see some build-up of the snow over the hills of northern Scotland by the end of Friday, and that strong wind, well, that makes for blizzards. There will be some brightness developing across parts of England and Wales during Friday afternoon, but it isn't going to feel warm. Temperatures may be a touch higher than Thursday's values, but add on that wind and it really will feel quite cold. Let's take a closer look at the winds though, because they are a cause for concern. The storm system heading south through the North Sea, and then those isobars really squeezing together later on Friday and into the early hours of Saturday morning. The storm system clears away during Saturday and the winds will slowly ease, but still a blustery day, and look at that wind direction. It's going to be cold. The wind gusts are going to be particularly strong on Friday evening around the coasts of Scotland. But as we run through the sequence, just notice this pulse of very strong winds down the eastern side of Scotland, especially gusts here of 70, possibly 75 miles an hour, maybe a little bit more in some exposed areas. But there's also a zone of very strong winds developing during Friday evening across the north coast and the west coast of Wales. So two areas to really keep an eye on. Those strong winds then move south down towards southwest England, easing a little bit across eastern Scotland, but picking up along the coast of northeast England as we head into Saturday morning. So we do have warnings in place, quite a broad warning on Friday, covering gusts of 55 to 65 miles an hour. Those kind of winds could cause some travel disruption, certainly. We also have a snow warning in place as those snow showers turn to more persistent snow over the hills of northern Scotland. We could see 8 centimetres turn to relatively low hills, so some of the roads could be affected, the A9 for example, and with that snow blowing in the strong winds, that's going to be pretty unpleasant for driving through. And then we have the amber wind warning covering northern and eastern Scotland, parts of northeast England for those gusts of 70, 75 miles an hour, possibly a little bit more in one or two places. Those kind of winds likely to cause some structural damage, bring trees down, certainly widespread travel disruption, delays to bus and rail services, potential for power issues as well. That warning remains in place into Saturday morning, and then broad yellow warning in place covering much of the UK for most of Saturday. Although the winds will be easing, still the potential for disruptive gusts, particularly so in the morning. Let's take a look at the details then for the weather through Friday evening. Those strong winds we've talked about, but there will also be this wet weather sinking southwards. That will have some snow mixed into it. Probably not much at low levels, and if there is, it won't stick around. But over the hills of northern England, certainly the potential for a little bit of snow during the early hours of Saturday morning. So you may just wake up to a covering in places. Obviously, with that wind coming in from the north, it's going to be cold. Still cold throughout Saturday. And that band of wet weather sinks southwards. Yes, still with some snow mixed into it. As I said, at low levels, you could see some, but it's not likely to stick around. More likely over hills. And at the moment, not expected to be too disruptive. But there is quite a bit of uncertainty about the amounts of snow we'll see, so stay tuned for more updates on that. Further wintry showers will come into the east during Saturday afternoon. Elsewhere, it does start to turn drier, but we do still have those cold and strong winds, 5, 6, 7 degrees. Add on that wind, it will feel even colder. Get very cold on Saturday night, but Sunday should at least bring some sunny skies for most parts of the UK. As I said, there is some uncertainty about the detail, particularly with snowfall, and you can look at the details for those weather warnings yourself on the website or on the app. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channels and keep across us right across social media.